Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show. Today we're about to do one of my favorite hobbies in the entire universe, and that would be sit behind a computer screen and judge what other people spend their money on through this channel called Glamour. Now basically what they do is they get people to sit in a chair and then go over all the ways they spend their money, and then what I do is I judge them. But before we start, we gotta make sure to do our part to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. That's it, enjoy, and now let's get into the video.
I'm 29 years old, living in Manhattan, and I work as a talent director, making $145,000 a year.
She's doing decent. Now the only downside though is in New York City, $145,000 is really like it's really like you're living on half in a normal area. So New York City, just double it, and everything there is so expensive.
And I make an additional $1 to $2K a month doing freelance work.
She's making like $155 to $170 a year. That's fantastic for 29 years old.
I work with a lot of brands to secure talent for commercials, social media projects. After taxes, I make $11,000.
Yeah, she knows she goes off in her career and they're just like, boring, cut. We just want to know how much you spend.
$7,268 a month. Half of that goes into my savings account and the other half goes into my checking account, which is the primary account that I use and spend throughout the month.
That's not bad. Listen, to be able to save half right off the bat, she's making some good life choices there. I agree with this so far.
Out of the $5,634 that goes into my checking account, $1,053 goes to my rent.
Wow, she's paying $1,000 a month for rent. That is fantastic. Well, first of all, either she's been rent controlled since like the 90s, which we know is probably not the case, or she's living with roommates, but either way, to spend $1,000 a month and to get to work in Manhattan is fantastic.
$61 goes to utilities. $23 goes to subscriptions like Amazon Prime and Apple Music, and I pay $1,326 in student loans.
Oh, I knew there was going to be a curveball. Like, this sounded too good to be true. I'm like, wait a second, she's spending like all in $1,150 a month for her living. Why is this so good? And then it's student loans, $1,300 a month. I guarantee there's no way she needed to go to college to learn what she's doing now. Social media manager. Listen, colleges are so far behind. They're like 2 decades behind everything else. By the time like 2030 rolls around, they'll be like,
all right, so we have this thing called the internet, and people make money by posting videos on YouTube.
And it's like, it's from a textbook. It's like, so silly. You know what? Everything you need to know at this point, I really believe on YouTube. Unless you're going to be a doctor or lawyer.
So that leaves me with $3,171 a month to spend. I have about $26,500 in my savings, $20,000 in 401k, and roughly $6,500 in my savings account.
Not bad, not bad. I think though, for her income, unless she's saving up for something in particular, she's got like some other investment account, she should probably have more money stashed away. But you know what? There's more to it. I guarantee she's got other money.
I have $0 in credit card debt. Lastly, $100,000 in student loans.
Ooh, $100,000 in student loans. Why? Why do you have $100,000? Who told you? It's like, it blows my mind. Like 18 years old, okay? So 18, you can't gamble in Las Vegas. You can't go and roll dice or play some blackjack. But, okay, but you could sign a piece of paper that says you're gonna take a loan for $100,000 to get an education. But you can't put $10 on the blackjack table. It makes no sense. $100,000. That's scarring for life. She's paying that off for a very, very, very long time. That's a lot.
I recently got engaged, and that's what triggered me to cut back on my spending. My fiance and I are paying for the wedding ourselves, and let me tell you, a New York City wedding is not cheap. We have budgeted $25,000 for the wedding and have had to tap into our savings to pay for the majority of that.
$25,000, that's a lot of, just get your friends together in Central Park, bring a picnic, just have a good time, spend $1,000, food and drinks, cater that from wherever, make it at home. And then put $24,000 of that towards your future. That's a down payment eventually. Gosh, blows my mind.
Here's my last statement. Food Town is the grocery store in Harlem that's near my apartment, $84.86. I realized that I was spending a lot of money eating out and wanted to figure out a way to save money in the food department. So what I've been doing is utilizing my time on Sundays to meal prep, and I spend about maybe 2 to 3 hours just cooking for the week.
Good for her, and it's saving money, and I think she should stick with that.
My most frequent purchase is Ubers. I like comfort. And also with the weather being so cold and there's a lot of snow and rain.
Well, it depends. If it's out of laziness and she has the free time, maybe it's better cut back on the Ubers a little bit. But otherwise, if this is like a business expense or she needs it to get places and it's cheaper than a car because it doesn't seem like she has a car, then in that case, it might be worth it. Still cheaper than a car.
Legacy Records, $35. This had to have been the day we went to check out Legacy Records as the wedding venue, and we stayed to get a drink at the bar before meeting with the events coordinator.
Wow, $35 for a drink at the bar. Oh man, again, it blows. This is like what people make in a few hours, like a real, like an hourly job, nothing glamorous. Like 2 hours of the work just to be like, sip, done.
There's going to be 25 people at the wedding, and it's all intimate, family, no friends.
25 people at a wedding for 25 grand, $1,000 a person. Listen, a wedding should not, $1,000 a person. You could do so much more for $1,000 a person. $1,000.
El Toro Blanco, great bar that is right around the corner from work. $54.12. They have really good margaritas and tacos.
Listen, no margaritas are $50 good. I challenge you to give me a margarita that's worth $50. I'd rather just have the money instead.
TJ Maxx for $144.92 is my most expensive purchase, which is kind of crazy. I guess I really am doing a good job of cutting back.
Yeah, your most expensive one-time single purchase, but you add everything else up. It's like, oh yeah, Ubers aren't bad, it's $12, but you do that 20 times. There you go.
Zara, $109.80. This had to have been a treat myself moment. Zara is really the only place that I shop for like fashion, and then Marshalls and TJ Maxx, I would say I go for like basics and everyday.
Yeah, you know what? I like Zara a lot. I think a good balance between fashion, quality, and price. Zara is like, it kind of hits the strong points and everything. Not the cheapest, not the best quality, but it's good for the price in terms of the fashion. So I like Zara.
Paris Soho for $57.91. I want to say that this was a date night because it's halfway between where me and my fiance's office is, and sometimes I'll treat him for good behavior.
Treat him for good behavior. What does that mean? What does that mean? He's not like checking out other women when you guys are out, like, oh, he's on good behavior today. He's not sleeping on the couch tonight. I'm going to reward him with a $50 drink.
Planet Fitness, this is the club fee.
Now all the time I think of Planet Fitness, go and watch these videos on YouTube. They're hilarious of people just like using the equipment wrong. They're like taking the bars and they're like jumping around. They're doing everything wrong. Every time now I think of Planet Fitness, that's the first thing. That's now their new brand.
For $10.45. It's a monthly recurring fee to use the gym whenever I want, and it's for one location only.
Yeah, you know what? For $10 a month, though, you cannot go wrong. That's a good price.
Starbucks, this one actually makes me feel bad because I have a Keurig at home, and spending $4.63 on coffee out when I know that there is coffee in the office. This should not be happening, but it is.
Oh, that's terrible. You know what? You know what a better alternative is? Bankroll Coffee down below in the description. That's right, guys. You can now get your very own Bankroll Coffee now for sale at bankrollcoffee.com. And we have brand new iced coffee kits with these really cool things. It's like you can make diamond ice. I kid you not. Just go to the website, check it out. We basically are selling it at our own cost. So there's very little money in that. So, but you know what? We're passing the savings on to you. Enjoy.
I feel like I wasn't taught about money at all growing up. I was taught to go to school and go to work, and then a man would provide for you. But I was never taught to save money or to put money aside for a rainy day.
But you know what? She's doing well. Let's call it for what it is. I mean, sure, she could spend less money on the wedding, fine. But you know what? Overall, she's making a fantastic income. I want to say there's some missing money in here because she's putting a lot of money away in savings, like half her income is savings. Probably of this, 30% some odd is going to taxes, so she's probably left over with about 105, 110 after tax. Of that, half is taken away to savings. She should be saving more money, either knocking out the student loan debt in a few years or investing more money elsewhere. Or maybe this is a recent thing. Maybe she just got this job and now she's like starting to ramp up her savings. But either way, she's doing a fantastic job. I really like it a lot. But let's see, of course, what the comments have to say. Yeah, we got KN. Girl, pay off those student loans. Yeah, the student loans, that's what I'd chip away at, unless they're at like a 2-3% interest rate, which if they are, better to invest instead, but otherwise you want to be prepared to pay that off. $1,300 a month on student loans, that's going to feel so good not to have to pay that down. Then we got this one who's thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. Maybe she's only been making this type of money for the last 5 months, which is why she's paid so little in taxes and has only $25,000 saved. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I'm guessing this has got to be a somewhat recent job, otherwise she should have a lot more money saved up. And then this one too. Yeah, same thing. $25,000 for 25 people at their wedding. That's stupid. That's stupid. Do it for less. I'd say max 10K. Max $10,000 wedding. Have a great time. Go and do something else. Go bowling. Movie and bowling. Cater the food. That's fantastic. That's what I would be doing. Save the extra money. Pay down the student loans. Invest in the future. That would be a lot better than this. Then we got this one. Earns $145,000 a year and can't afford to have her friends at her wedding. Doesn't add up, which I agree with. And then last one, Melissa, treating her fiance for good behavior. Good behavior, good luck. A real keeper, this one. Exactly, as if he's a dog or something. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also feel free to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there, as in the podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. New episodes being posted every single Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.